Thursday morning, the 17th day of February. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Country Financial, Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank.
Most people understand the need for life insurance, but not many want to talk about why it's essential to your financial plan. It may seem intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Don't get overwhelmed. Get started with Country Financial. Call me, Sean O'Quinn, today at 588-1051 and let me work with you to find life insurance that gives you the protection you need at a price you can afford.
Life insurance policies issued by Country Life Insurance Company and Country Investors Life Assurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings in Wayne County is a popular thing to dine in or take out for one delicious meal, and with the low great prices, it's simply a steal. Famous for the variety of sauces, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. When it's time to eat lunch or dinner, Damon's Restaurant the place to go. Located in the middle of town on West Cherry Street, yes, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings simply can't be beat. So next time you're hungry and looking for a great meal, head to Damon's Restaurant and enjoy a great deal. The number to call is easy, 588-WING, 588-9464, the real thing. Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings. Those chicken wings are a very popular thing.
When it comes to growing a family business, we understand the business of growing. At First Southern Bank, we've been meeting the needs of South Georgia farmers for over 100 years with competitive ag loan rates, including equipment loans, farmland loans, and lines of credit. First Southern Bank has all the banking tools you need to help keep your growing business growing. First Southern Bank, investing in you since 1907. For loan rates and more, visit firstsoutherngA.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
2 minutes after 8 o'clock, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jessup, world famous Butch and Bob Show, right here on WIFO. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. All right, we've got a guest in here with the studio with us this morning. Who do we have, Bob?
We got Jamie Hickox in again. We got this special election to fill the vacancy on County Commissioner seat in District 5. Two candidates in the race, Jamie Hickox and Kathy Keith. We've got Kathy scheduled for next Thursday, but this Thursday we got Jamie Hickox. So, Jamie, appreciate you being here on the show.
I am so excited to be here, Bob.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us how the campaign's going.
It's going fabulous. I get to talk to people from our community. I get to meet. I go to the neighborhoods, get to engage in a lot of conversation. The best part of the run is being able to look somebody in the eye and just have a conversation. The last 2 years, we've been so isolated from things. Just to get out and talk to people, hear what they have to say, get to share their ideas. The best part of Wayne County is our people.
And what do they have to say? What's on their mind?
A lot of things are on their mind. They want unity. They want a community center. They want less government. They want better roads. They want a 5-0 vote. They want a lot of things.
Yeah. They're dreaming if they want a 5-0.
It's coming. Don't worry, it's coming.
There's a lot of things.
Everybody
they are 5-0.
wants unity, but you've been there for the last whatever.
But there's a lot not.
It's been, your husband was part of that 3-2 vote for many years. So the question is, if you get on the board, is Kevin McCray getting an ally? Is going to be another 3-2 vote, or are you going to be able to bring unity to the board? How's that going to work?
Well, as far as the 3-2 votes go, I am in real estate. That's my background. And every real estate transaction has two sides. It's got a buyer side and a seller side. You don't have to have a winner and a loser. The part of brokering the transaction is finding a way for both sides to win. So I believe the 3-2 vote isn't about, I've got to win and you've got to lose. It's about finding a way for all of Wayne County to win.
Yeah, but in politics, when you have a 3-2 vote, the 3 is the majority and the 2 is the minority. So there is a winner and a loser when it comes to the 3-2 vote in politics.
Well, Bob, first of all,
that's where we've been stuck in the last several years. I mean, like I said, Ralph went and he's the mayor. Like I said, Kevin McCreary's still with that 1 vote, but I told people, and he knows it, I joke with him, he's the lone wolf. I mean, it's a 3-1 vote. He's up against it. The other night he got chastised for not following a procedure. He's trying to get a date. He's going to come on the show, talk about that. Looking forward to talking to him. But you've been there, you see. So the question, that's what people in District 5 are wondering. If you get on there, are you going to be able to bring any harmony with the other commissioners, or is it going to be just the same old, same old?
The 3-2 vote is not the problem. It's symptomatic.
It's been a big problem for the last several.
It's the symptom of a bigger problem.
I mean, when people, they talk about it all the time, when people drive through town, or there's a lot of people that travel through, they listen and they hear. There's people in Baxley listen all the time. We got a lot of listeners, and that's what they talk about, man. Why is there so much disharmony in Wayne County? Why is it always divided? Where's the, like I said, where is the unity? That's what people want. When you just said when you went to people, what they want unity. I'd like to see unity. I'd like to see everybody come together, because I say it all the time, we're a small community. Unless everybody's pointing in one direction, nothing's going to get accomplished. When you're got this inner fighting and bitterness, it just doesn't move forward.
The answer is in the people. When the people get engaged with their government, the
people aren't engaged. I mean, like I say, most people don't get involved. I mean, you see that.
I don't think that's the people's fault at all. It is government has been through a process of years. It has become this big bureaucracy, this big machine just rolling on, and we use terms that people don't understand. LMIG, a TAN, a blah, a blah, a blah, 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 government. Let's break it down to what it is. We want the very best of Wayne County. We have so much money to deal with. We have so much money coming in. We have to spend it wisely. There is no way that if I'm king for the day, I can solve all these problems. But what I can do, I can go to experts in these fields who live right here in Wayne County and go, hey, come on board. I know you know the answer to this. Let's get together. And I know there's 5 other people over here that are experts in the same field. Let's get you all together. And you work on this numbers issue. And we have some of the best road department workers in Southeast Georgia. Give them a place to do their thing. Give them the equipment they need. Get them together with people who are like-minded. Hey, we want the best roads. What do we got to do to get there? What about rec department? There's more to rec department than just baseball, but we have fantastic baseball. We have an incredible agricultural community. Let's get people on board with that. The answer is not 5 people in a room behind a locked door in a courtroom fixing everything for everybody else. The answer is in the people. Let's get it together and let's go. Be more inclusive. Hey, come on down. Let's fix our government, because at the end of the day, we pay for it. It's ours. There's nobody better suited to do it than us. The answer is in the people. It will always be in the people.
Again, you're running in this election. If you get elected, you mentioned the community center. Talk about that. Something you're passionate about. What's your vision for community center? Because there's so many projects out there that people want. I just read, they had a meeting the other day. They're talking about a new stadium. They're talking about a new courtroom complex. I mean, there's all kinds of things on the table. There's a lot of wish list. The question is, where's the money coming from to get any of these things that people want?
The community center was not even on my radar at all till I was sitting in a county commissioner meeting. And a Coach Daniel, she sits on the school board. She came in with these binders. She had done a ton of research, and she handed these binders out, all those commissioners, and she went through the reasons why we needed a community center. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, she absolutely has a point. I wish I had my hands on one of those binders. I think it's a great idea. Then I started talking to people about this community center. It is so much, there's so much to it. A community center is more than just a pool, which we absolutely need. It's a gathering place, a place for aqua therapy, basketball courts. We have some of the most talented twirlers in the nation that are raised in Wayne County. They need a place to practice. Community theater. We must make a space where our citizens can get together and build a better community. We can work out our challenges, and we can build community pride. That community center is absolutely essential. And I realize this is a wants versus needs. That's a want and that's a need. Well, where there's always a place for wants and needs to meet together. Ralph and I are remodeling houses right now. We're remodeling houses, and I wanted to live in this great little craftsman house on Cypress Street. It had a bunch of wood and high ceilings. It had a lot of stuff going on for it. Ralph wants to live in this mid-century modern on Elm Street. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want a mid-century. Okay, we'll come together somehow. We'll come together. Okay, but it had a pool. I want a swimming pool. I want a pool. I'm like most other people in Wayne County. They want a pool too. So we get down, there's a budget. There's only so much money that can be spent on this little house. Well, I want a new bathroom. Well, if you get a new bathroom, you don't get kitchen counters. So we compromised. I had to take my wants and my needs. What I got was a brand new sink and a brand new toilet. I got to resurface a tub, and I'm living with the same tiled floors and the pink tile walls. It's a compromise, but I can live with that because we found a space to work together. I'm saying the same thing for the community center and the judicial center. We absolutely have to have security in the judicial center. I heard at the Kiwanis meeting week before last, the chairman came and he was talking about the list of great things that have happened in our community. And on his list was, we're going to get a new judicial complex, and it's going to cost between $35 and $40 million. And I thought, wait, I go to all those meetings. I haven't heard that number. And wait, where are we going to find the money to pay for this judicial complex? And wait a minute, where's the public hearings on these things? If that judicial complex is absolutely the number one greatest need of our community, then we need to have public hearings at that courthouse and let the public go there and take them through and say, this is our security issue and this is our maintenance issue, and this courthouse was built over 100 years ago and it doesn't function for what we have going on. Come with me. Let me show you. Here is what our challenges are, and here's a list of how we can fix it. Let the people buy into this. And if they want to buy into a $40 million courthouse, woohoo, I'm all for it. If they want to try to meet the challenges at $10 million and come up with a community center and a equestrian center and have it better for everybody across the board, I'm going to be all in for that too. Whatever the people want, I'm right there with you. Let's be transparent.
Where do you see the community center being built?
I don't know.
Don't know.
The people know. Let's have the conversation.
What's the cost? Maybe an idea.
Huh?
The cost.
We have to get through the plan before we get to the cost. What is it? How big? How small? Can we take buildings that we already have and repurpose them? Ralph and I have learned how to do that. We can take something and we can repurpose it and bring the best and make it shine. Don't lose our history, but retrofit it for what our needs are right now. I don't know the cost. I don't know where it needs to be. It's not my decision. It's the people's decision.
And just joining us, Jamie Hickox in the studio, running for County Commissioner District 5. The county just released a report, the state of the county. It says the county's in good financial shape. You're running for county commissioner. Do you agree with that assessment?
Well, I haven't got to see the deep dive on the books, but Bob, we've been under a hard tax challenge for 4 years. I cannot see a reason why we shouldn't be in fabulous financial shape. My heartburn with the taxes, I want us to be in good financial shape. There's more than one way to do that. We can be conservative with our cash. We can be conservative with our plan. We can take a zero-based budget and build up from there. Or we can just bring in more income and bring in more income and bring on more income. You know what? When I'm out of groceries, I can go to the grocery store and buy more groceries. I can buy a plethora of comfort food, and it will make me full. And I will not fit into any of my clothes by the end of next week. Or I can make a grocery list and spend time cooking what's good. And I will still fit in my clothes. I will have plenty to eat, and I will have done something in a sound manner. Taxing our way through to good financial shape, I don't know is the best avenue. We have just gone through COVID. Right now, who is not fighting this onslaught of inflation and taxes? We got to lower our taxes. They have been too high for too long.
Again, you said you're out seeing people, which is good. Most people, years ago with the pandemic couldn't get out and see people, but you're getting out and seeing people personally. So you're going door to door, or how you doing your campaign?
I go to the line at the Walmart, and I get to see all kinds of people and the best political discussions. I learn more stuff from the line at the Walmart and the beauty shop. I meet more people. It's awesome.
So again, this is your time. So anything else you want to say? I think I'm out of questions.
You got a bunch of stuff down there, Jamie.
I am a prepared parent.
You are prepared. You got papers everywhere there. Anything else that you'd like for the public to know about on particular issues or stands you have on when it comes to the management of the government in Wayne County?
Well, there's a couple things I want to say. I have lived in Wayne County for 15 years. It has been the happiest years of my life. I love Wayne County. With a couple of exceptions, the very best things that have ever happened to me have happened right here in Wayne County. Butch and Bob, I want to thank you for the opportunity to come here and chat with our community about our future. A local radio station is a treasure that few places get to enjoy. The Butch and Bob Show is live and unfiltered. Guest talk and people decide. That is what the media is designed to do. As far as the Wayne County government is concerned, every answer to every challenge lies in our people. When I am elected, I will be held accountable to a volunteer group of 6 people from District 5, experts in their fields and dedicated to the betterment of our community. One will have a superpower in budget and numbers. 2 of them will be in leisure services. 1 geared towards sports and agricultural recreation. 1 towards senior services, which include issues from aquatherapy to daily community activities and Meals on Wheels. 1 roads. 1 research. And 1 student. We must always look forward to our next generation. They do not need to maintain what we have built. They need to shatter every record we set. Our legacy always gets left in the hands of the next generation. If you are hearing this and you would like to be a part of that group of 6, please contact me at itsaboutwayne.com. I am filled with hope for Wayne County. I'm excited to be a part of a vision, growth, and unity. I am Jamie Hickox, and I want to be your next county commissioner.
And what's that website once again?
Itsaboutwayne.com.
Itsaboutwayne.com. Do you have any type of site for folks to learn more about you, Jamie Hickox?
Itsaboutwayne.com.
Okay, still that same website. All right, sounds good. Anything else that you would like for our listeners to know about Jamie Hickox this morning?
My cell phone number is 912-271-5012. If you need me, I'm right here. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the checkout line at the Walmart.
All right, Jamie, appreciate you coming in, and good luck with the campaign, and hopefully we'll get to see you again sometime soon.
Can I ask one other thing? Yeah. District 5, explain to people where District 5 is. How many registered voters in District 5? You check that out?
I think there's a population of 6,000 in the district. When it comes to the special election, which is on March the 15th, there's only one issue on that ballot, and it is going to be the people who vote for the special election are under the old districting. So when it comes, so you qualify on March the 6th for the new election, which is the primary in May, and that will be for the new district lines. Right. So the district you were in the last time you voted is still the district you are in just for this special election. You'll have to look at the new district map, which I have one on my wall at the office if you want to come by and see it.
Again, we appreciate you coming in. Wish you the best of luck. We'll follow the campaign again. Early voting gets underway Monday, and again, hopefully a good turnout. But again, there's some Saturday voting as well in the early voting period. Saturday, February 26th, Saturday, March 5th, 9 to 5. I do want to remind people that the early voting for this election, all elections from this point forward will be at the Hall Richardson Recreation Center. So people need to understand. A lot of people be probably still going to Cracker Williams, but it's at Hall Richardson Recreation Center. So hopefully people have that message and know where to early vote. But it gets underway Monday, and we'll follow it, get the update every day on the numbers, and hopefully a good turnout. So appreciate you coming in. Best of luck, and we'll see you throughout the campaign.
All right. Take care, Jamie. 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. More of the world-famous Butch and Bob Show in a moment.
When further treatment is no longer an option, hospice can provide services to manage symptoms and difficulties caused by illness. Emotional, psychosocial, and spiritual care, as well as support to the families and caregivers, are all part of hospice care. Hospice of South Georgia has been a part of the health community in Wayne and surrounding counties since 1998. The professional yet compassionate attention provided by our staff is unsurpassed. Widely supported by donations from the local population, Hospice of South Georgia is the local nonprofit hospice in Wayne County. Our administrative office is located at 1625 Sunset Boulevard, and Hospice of South Georgia accepts anyone who meets hospice criteria, regardless of their ability to pay. Please call 912-588-0080 to speak with someone about hospice care. That was 912-588-0080. We are your hometown hospice, and we are here to serve you. Hospice of South Georgia, working to add life to your days.
And we got more of the world famous Butch and Bob Show on the phone with us. Is Congressman Buddy Carter. Buddy, how you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, Bob. We are national champions. I'm doing excellent.
How'd your Valentine's Day go throughout the first district? We promoted that. You were on the show talking about that. Did you get to see a lot of first responders on Valentine's Day?
Let me tell you, it was the best day I've ever had in the district. We hit every county in the district. We went to hospitals. We went to police departments, fire departments, 9/11 centers, EMT centers. And it was just great. The response from citizens was great. We got thousands of Valentine's cards. We targeted a lot of the schools because, it's important that young people understand that they and learn early on that they need to appreciate and support our first responders. So we were really pleased with their participation. But just going through the district, it was a beautiful day. Unfortunately, Verizon was down that day, but nevertheless, we were still okay. We did live before cell phones. I guess we all figured that out at some point. But nevertheless, it was a great day, and the first responders were so appreciative, and it meant so much to them. And that's important in today's, in this time, because, they just, with all this defund the police, with the soft on crime, all this rhetoric that's going around, they need to know that we do support them and that we do appreciate them.
Last time we had you on the phone, you made the announcement that you felt that Putin was going to invade Ukraine. So far, they have not, but it still looks grim. So what's the update from Washington on all that?
Well, we're getting mixed signals. The Russians are trying to say that they're withdrawing troops from the border, and then we are getting reports that they're actually doing just the opposite, sending more troops to the border. Bob, I'm headed this afternoon to Munich, Germany, with a delegation to a security conference, and I believe Vice President's going to be there as well. So, we'll figure out more then and know more. But the most important thing for us right now is that our European allies and our allies across the world, but especially our European allies, that we all be on the same page, that we all are together, understanding how important this is. I don't think, two things. First of all, I don't know that people here in America realize just how close this is, how serious this is. Nor do I think that they understand the impact that this is going to have. Gas is going to go up $5, $6 a gallon. The economy of Europe is going to be impacted, and when the economy of Europe is impacted, our economy is impacted. So this is going to have a significant impact on our country, even if we're not involved in it.
You see any possible diplomatic solution at all? I mean, they keep throwing that out there, but what's your gut instinct tell you?
Well, obviously, threatening the Nord Stream 2 pipeline is a good chip, if you will, in our favor and preventing this from happening. Russia doesn't have a whole lot, but they got oil and gas, and that is important these days, as we all know. And that's the golden coin in their pocket, if you will. So if we can hit them where it hurts and stop the construction of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, then we can get their attention. But at the same time, it should have never gotten to this point that it's at right now. But it is what it is, and we have to deal with it.
You said you're going to Germany today. How long do you think you'll be there?
I'm going to be in Germany for about 3 days. The conference, I'm going with Senator Lindsey Graham, and the conference lasts for 3 days. I've never been before. I just happened to get invited this year, and I'm excited about it. It's held every year. It just so happens to be right now, obviously, what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. I think the importance of it is magnified.
Getting on the phone with us is Congressman Buddy Carter. What else is going on in Washington that we need to know about, Buddy? You got this time. You call in. I'm sure you have something you want to say. So the floor is yours. Sure. What else you want to talk about?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, the Olympics and what's going on there. I was on Fox News at 4:20 this morning. I guess the two people who were watching saw me, but nevertheless, I was on Fox News and Fox and Friends. And that's important. We need to pay attention to what's going on at the Olympics and what's going on in communist China, because these companies that are sponsoring the Olympics, they are complicit if they're just turning a blind eye like they are doing to the atrocities that are going on in China right now. I mean, specifically, if we look at the companies here in Georgia, Coca-Cola is a major sponsor of the Olympics, and yet they were the ones who were so critical of the Election Integrity Act that was passed by our state legislature. They have been supporting Black Lives Matter. My point is, why is it that Black Lives matter, but the Uyghur Muslim lives in China don't matter? I mean, you can't, and listen, they have every right to enter into the social debate, if you will. And I respect that if that's what they want to do, but you can't just choose and pick. I mean, if you're going to do it here, you got to do it there as well. And I'm not just picking on Coca-Cola. It's more companies than Coca-Cola. J.P. Morgan, Microsoft, Citibank, all of these companies, they have a certain responsibility here. They want to be involved, as I say, in the social debate here in America, and they have every right to be. They need to be involved in the debate what's going on in China. You can't just use one country and say, well, we're not allowed to speak over there, but we're allowed to speak here. That doesn't fly. And they can tell me all day long, as they have tried to, that they have checked their supply chains and that there is no slave labor and that their supply chains are clean. And I believe that. However, that does not mean that what else is going on over there in that country is not important, because it is important.
Okay. Again, we appreciate you being here on the show. Safe travels to Germany. So we understand you and the Vice President are going to take a photo op, and we're going to get that copy.
You really going to do that, buddy?
Get a nice big hug, or what are we expecting?
If it's okay, I'll get back with you guys on that.
Okay, buddy, we appreciate you being here on the show.
Okay,
again.
buddy, there's a lot of one of the big subjects on people's minds right now is inflation. We haven't seen this type of inflation that's going on right now since the 1970s. I know that Bob and I talked about that way this past summer, that you cannot pump this much money into the economy without inflation kicking in. I think a lot of politicians these days just are not used to it. They weren't around, or they didn't remember the inflation we had back in the 70s up to early 80s before Reaganomics kicked in. And so where do you see this inflation the problem going? It just seems to be getting worse as each month goes by.
Well, it does. And if you look at it now, we've got the highest inflation rate, as you pointed out, that we've had in over 40 years. It's the early 80s before we had this, before Reaganomics took effect, and we were able to get it down. And it's going to continue, particularly if this administration continues with their war on fossil fuels. It's going to increase the price of gas. I just mentioned earlier, Bob, about the price of gas is going to go up if Russia invades Ukraine. And that's going to have an impact, and that's going to cause inflation to go up even more. Right now, inflation in this past month was 7.5%. That means that every American lost 2 paychecks as a result of inflation. You can, and inflation is nothing more than a tax. I mean, that is a tax. It costs you more. So, yeah, I was talking to someone the other day, and we pointed out that, the Democrats have kind of achieved what they wanted to achieve because they wanted to get a living wage. They wanted to get the minimum wage up to $15. Well, they've kind of achieved that. I mean, there are billboards out there now for convenience stores that are offering $15, $17 an hour. I understand McDonald's is $20, $21 an hour. And that's great. I'm proud and happy for them. But if inflation's at 7.5%, folks, you're losing ground.
And the feds are still keeping interest rates at record low levels. Usually when you have inflation kick in like this, the feds raise the interest rate to slow down the hot economy. Why are we seeing a little higher interest rates from the feds right now because of the inflation?
Well, I think that's imminent. I think you are going to see that very soon, and they're not going to have any choice but to do that. And when they do that, of course, that's going to have an impact on everything else. It's going to have an impact on real estate, on mortgages, on every borrowing money. It will slow down our economy, but it's just going to be bad for business.
And the president's still out there trying to push his Build Back Better, trying to get another $1 trillion to go into the infrastructure and other items of social work here and programs here in the country. How do you think that'll affect if the Congress ever passes that?
Well, let's hope that we don't pass it, and I don't think that it will pass. But if he pumps more money into the economy, you can't spin your way out of this. That's what the Democrats don't understand. You cannot spin your way out of this. We've got to be... I was in a hearing. I'm on the Budget Committee in Congress, and I was on a hearing yesterday where they want to do away with the debt limit. The debt limit's the only thing that's making us pay attention to the national debt right now. And they want to do away with it. They just want to spend and not be concerned at all about the debt. If it weren't for the debt limit that was in place, when we have to vote to raise the debt limit, that's a time when we look at things and when we actually make fiscal decisions. No other time during the year do we make a fiscal decision. But again, the point is that the Democrats think you can spin your way out of this. You cannot spin your way out of this.
Well, the infrastructure bill was passed. You've got, I can't remember the exact amount, $2 trillion, whatever, that's going to be out there to build roads and bridges and other infrastructure out there. Who's going to control where that money goes? Who gets the responsibility of spending these, billions and billions and billions of dollars?
Well, it'll go to the federal funds flow through the state, and then the state disperses them, and that's the way that money will go. It goes to the Department of Transportation, and they identify the projects that are going to go there.
Okay. That's just a lot of money to be controlled, so I hope there's checks and balances in it.
Yes, it obviously there has to be.
Okay. Well, Congressman Carter, we appreciate you calling. Anything else on your mind this morning?
I think that's about it. There's plenty more to talk about. You want to talk about the Clinton campaign spying on President Trump? That's big right now, but,
That's going to be interesting to see where that goes. It sounded like it was just kind of simmered there for a lot of while. And, of course, President Trump years ago was talking about he knew he was being spied on. And now there may be evidence out there he was.
Well, there is evidence out there that he was. And you're right. What concerns me is our media, because they're not covering it. Fox is covering it. CNN's not covering it. They're not covering it. This is substantial. I mean, this is big. So, it's just a shame. And at some point, somebody's going to have to answer to this. We just can't sweep this under the rug and think that it's not important. It is important.
Well, reporters need to stop being PR people for certain causes and political leanings and stuff like that and be reporters. I've told folks before, what we need is some more old Sam Donaldsons there on the White House press staff to be able to the bottom of no matter what the party is. I don't know if people remember Sam Donaldson, but he didn't take slack from Democrats, Republicans, or anybody. He was always digging to try to get the truth. And that's what we need reporters to do.
And if I could just add this, if you'll bear with me 1 second, I was part of a press conference with leadership 2 weeks ago, and it was about the fentanyl overdose problem that we have. Over 100,000 people died of fentanyl overdoses. Most of it was fentanyl. And we had that press conference. It lasted about 10 minutes, and then we opened it up for questions. And the reporters on the press corps there at the Capitol asked 6 questions. Only 1 question had to do with fentanyl. The other 5 questions were just everything else. And, you know, I couldn't help but think, as I walked away, about Lester Maddox, and when he was talking about the prisons back then, he said, you know, what we need is a better quality prisoner. And I was thinking, you know, what we need is a better quality press corps here.
All right, Congressman Carter, thank you very much for calling in this morning. We look forward to hearing from you again soon, and safe travels to Europe and back.
Okay, thank y'all.
All right, bye-bye. All right, Congressman Carter here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO. Well, Bob, that's it. That's it. All right. And the world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by O'Quinn and Associates, Country Financial, Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank.